Good evening. Thanks for joining us here tonight. I'm Alex Dieterer. With just hours left, Congress passed a 45-day stopgap bill to avoid a government shutdown. Saturday afternoon, the House passed a compromise funding measure, with the Senate passing it late this evening. ABC's M. Nguyen tells us what the bill and what comes next.
With just hours to go, the House passing a bipartisan stopgap spending bill to avert a government shutdown.
The bill is passed, and without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid on the table.
The deal, including $16 billion in disaster relief requested by the White House, but no new aid for Ukraine. Speaker Kevin McCarthy putting his House leadership on the line, announcing the proposal following weeks of infighting within his own party.
If you have members in your conference that won't let you vote for appropriation bills, doesn't want an omnibus, and won't vote for a stopgap measure, I don't want to be a part of that team. I want to be a part of a conservative group that wants to get things done.
House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries criticizing what he calls the extreme Republicans.
The American people have won. The extreme MAGA Republicans have lost. It was a victory for the American people and a complete and total surrender by right-wing extremists who throughout the year have tried to hijack the Congress.
After the overwhelmingly bipartisan vote in the House, the bill was then sent to the Senate, where some expressed concern over the lack of funding for Ukraine.
We will not stop fighting for more economic and security assistance for Ukraine. Majorities in both parties support Ukraine aid, and doing more is vital for America's security and for democracy around the world.
But the Senate eventually voting to pass the legislation ahead of the midnight deadline, keeping the government open.
The alternative to our action today, an entirely avoidable government shutdown.
The final stop, President Biden's desk for his signature, keeping the government funded for another 45 days. M. Nguyen, ABC News, Washington.
In a written statement tonight, President Biden said he expects Speaker Kevin McCarthy, quote, will keep his commitment to the people of Ukraine and secure passage of the support needed to help Ukraine at this critical moment.
Oh, were the beers ever pounded and were the Gators ever cooked this afternoon in UK's 33-14 win over number 22 Florida? Mostly thanks to a monster game out of Ray Davis. The running back ran for a staggering 280 yards against UF, good for the third most in a single game in UK history. For more on that performance, Kent Spencer's at Kroger Field.
Kentucky has now won 3 straight against the Florida Gators. That hasn't happened since 1951, and they did it behind Ray Davis's 280 yards rushing. Simply put, he wore out the Gators defense.
I mean, honestly, I could have played another quarter. Could have done at least 2 more, but you know, it was a great day. You know, personally, it was a great day for me. I didn't really do much today. You got to give credit to the O-line and to the tight ends and the receiving corps. You know,
what a great individual performance, but he made some people miss and ran around some people and threw people and over people, you name it, and give him a lot of credit for some great individual effort.
How good does it feel to have a running back run for 280 yards?
It's awesome. You know, as offensive linemen, that's kind of a dream for us, is to be able to run the ball. And when we come to the sideline and they're like, what plays you like? We'll just keep running the same ones. Don't fix what isn't broken.
After this performance, Davis says for his offensive line, dinner is on him.
I've seen Marcus take down some chips within probably like a minute, honestly, and it was the big bag. So Marcus might be the one to put the hole in my pocket for sure.
Oh, we throwing a bill on him, yes. I mean, when you get 300 yards, you know, you gotta treat us somehow.
There's still a lot more out there for us, and we're gonna need it. You know, we all know who we play next week, and you're gonna have to put it all together.
And of course, Mark Stoops is referring to top-ranked Georgia, whom the Cats have a date with next week between the hedges. Reporting at Kroger Field, Ken Spencer, WHAS 11 News.
Great, now I'm craving chips. Thanks so much, Kent. Plus, out in Maryland, Indiana had a rough showing against the Terps, but while they put up a bit of a fight at the end, it was too little too late in a 44-17 loss that pushed them to 2-3 on the season. Coming up in sports, we'll have full highlights from those games. That plus another look at Louisville's big win over NC State Friday night, plus Lou City and Racing Louisville in action. Jam-packed sports coming your way soon.
All right, thank you, Mason. Today, a U of L Cardinals fall scrimmage was about more than just baseball. It was also about remembering a young life taken way too soon.
Guys, why are we here today? For Jay.
It was one of the first opportunities for fans to see the 2024 Cardinals in action, and a chance for the Linden Bananas youth baseball team to honor their friend and teammate Jake Luxemburger. The 10-year-old center fielder was killed in a car crash in Crestwood 2 weeks ago. Friends and family say he was known to stand out in a crowd with his sweet and charismatic personality and his love for Cardinals baseball.
Who's Jake's favorite team?
Hell's up all the way. Hell's up.
The Cardinals hosted Xavier today. The Bananas joined the Cardinals on the field for the first pitch and then sat front row for today's scrimmage.
It's something I know Jake would have absolutely loved because he loved his cards and he loved the spotlight. So the kids are excited to step on a big field like this with a very successful baseball program and just do it for Jake and just have fun together. That's what we've been trying to do the past couple weeks, is just get them back to a little normal and have fun together.
Coach Jonathan Moore said Jake prioritized lifting up the people around him. And it's no secret that Jake left an everlasting impression on his team and the community.
How do we live every day? What's our slogan?
Jake strong.
Say it again.
Jake strong.
Yeah.
Photojournalist Addie Hill helped put that story together. If you'd like to donate to the Luxemburger family on a GoFundMe, we do have a link on our website, WHAS11.com. New for you tonight, LMPD is investigating 2 different scenes after a man was shot and killed overnight. Police say they received a report of a shooting victim arriving at Mary and Elizabeth Hospital in a van around 3 this morning. The victim was pronounced dead inside the van. Detectives say they discovered 2 different scenes, one on Haskins Avenue and the other around the block on Huntoon Avenue. Police have no suspects at this time. Anyone with any information is encouraged to call 574-LMPD. Police have made an arrest in connection to a deadly shooting on Jefferson Street Monday. Corleone Toogood has been charged with murder. According to court documents, police found a woman dead inside an apartment from a gunshot wound. Police say they found no signs of forced entry and no firearms inside the apartment. Court documents say Toogood admitted to driving a car by the apartment, and video surveillance shows gunfire coming from his car. Toogood is being held on a $100,000 bond. Over in Shawnee Park today was a rally to celebrate those who have recovered from substance abuse. Organizers gathered free resources to support people who have struggled with abuse. They say days like today are an opportunity to advocate for better resources in the community.
We find folks who are in this space is advocating for stuff like culturally competent programming, advocating for treatment and versus incarceration. So now I think we're coming of age as a result of doing this sort of work for a number of years.
If you or someone you know is struggling with substance abuse, help is available. Head to our website, WHAS11.com, for additional resources. Baptist Health invited friends, neighbors, and patients to come together at their cancer block party today. The 2nd annual block party had cancer screenings, games, food, and music. Organizers say the goal of today's event is to make life-saving cancer prevention education accessible to everyone.
I think reminding people that cancer screening is still important, especially as in some ways we're coming out of the COVID era, just to make sure they're aware of the opportunities to help decrease that risk of finding advanced cancer where the options are more limited for treatment.
In addition to cancer screenings, they also gave support to those living with or impacted by cancer.